But here's the truth. It's not about being fancy. It's not about buying all these things. It's about being functional. Your kids don't need fancy stuff, Pottery Barn or whatever the fancy store is in your neighborhood. You know what they need? They need presence. They need safety. A place that feels like home. That's what you can do. All right, so here's a little story from me. I struggled. And I had camping gear. This is when I was in Idaho. I was living in a very small apartment. It was a studio apartment, in fact. It wasn't even a one bedroom. It was basically a living room that was everything. And it was a decent sized studio apartment. And I had my two daughters come over, 14 and 16. And I got to thinking, how am I going to do this? Back then I wasn't perfect. My mind was still, it was tough. But I got the bright idea that I could use a tent inside that studio apartment, and that could be their bedroom. And so that's how I set it up. Air mattresses and all. But they had sheets and pillows and all of those things. To me, it was survival. I was in survival mode. For them, they still remember that. This is now, I was not quite 20 years ago now, because I had been down to Houston homeless, and my daughter, actually, older daughter, helped me to get back up to Idaho. It was after that. It was an adventure for those two. You know, they bragged, hey, it's camping time, indoor camping, and they remembered it. And it was an experience that they really enjoyed. Look, and that's the lesson here. It's not about how much you can spend, okay? It's about how you can frame it, how you can make it fun for your kiddos. That's what's important here. Now, how about some creative div dad pad hacks? Oh, say that fast 3 times. You know, air mattresses. They're camping beds, right? But they can become a mattress inside. They're, what, 30 bucks? How about something from the thrift store? You know, bean bags. Bean bags are comfy. They can be there in your hangout zone, out there in the living room. Yeah, outside the tent. What about just dollar store plates and the silverware and stuff to go with it? Well, it's plasticware, but it doesn't have to be expensive. And there could be matching sets. Even a decorated corner, okay? It could just be a corner that you put up your favorite poster from what your kids enjoy. For me, back then, it was, you know, there's a Barbie poster that was my one daughter's favorite. Yes, she was older, but she still was into Barbies. I don't understand it. But that could have been something I could have done back then, is decorate a corner for her.